Hey everyone, Nick here and welcome back to GamerTube, and welcome back to our Garten of Banban character concept series. So in today's video, the character looking into is the Naughty Ones. So we're going to these characters' backstory, gameplay mechanics, and all that good stuff. Before we get into any of that, do be sure to subscribe to GamerTube as it helps a lot and it's greatly appreciated. It also keeps you up to date with the videos that we post. Also do be sure to leave a like as it does help out the channel and the videos as well. And lastly, if you want to become a GamerTube member, then you can click the join button down below on this video or on our channel. It's a great way to support the channel and you get a whole bunch of awesome stuff as well. But you don't have to be a member, it's only if you want to get some extra cool stuff and help support this channel. Alrighty, well with that all out of the way, let's get into the character concept of the Naughty Ones. So in the end of Garten of Banban Chapter 4, we see Queen Bouncielia unleash the power of the Naughty Ones. The Naughty Ones are the mysterious beings that are living inside of the Queen's pouch. It is said if Bittergiggle makes Queen Bouncielia laugh, then the Naughty Ones would be unleashed and bring about the end of the world. So the player and Sheriff Toadster head out to find the Queen's Scepter. With the power of the scepter, they would be able to contain the Naughty Ones and return them back to Queen Bouncielia's pouch. But what do the Naughty Ones look like? Well, one could only imagine that they would be the Queen's Joeys. And they would be the three Joeys of the Apocalypse. First we have Nasty, Mischief, and Devious. These are the Joeys that hold the power to end the world. If all three of them come into contact, then a cataclysmic event would take place. Whilst they were in the Queen's pouch, they were perfectly safe, but out of the pouch, they are incredibly volatile. With the large beam of power emanating from the Queen's pouch, each of the Joeys got teleported to 3 separate locations in the kindergarten. And as we speak, all 3 of them are travelling towards each other, and if they collide, it'll all be over. So the player and Sheriff Toadster need to locate this scepter as quickly as they can. And after searching all throughout, they finally find it. The only problem is that Bittergiggle has made sure that no one is able to grab it. He has chained the scepter with 3 separate padlocks, so the player will need to track down the keys in order to grab the scepter. So they set out and look for these 3 keys. And by chance, they find the first one. But Bittergiggle hasn't made this very easy. At the end of the platform are multiple swinging axes. If the player is going to retrieve this key, they need to be careful not to get hit by the axes. So step by step, they carefully time when they need to run through them. One misstep and it would all be over for the player. Eventually they make it through and grab the first key. Now all they have to do is find the other 2. The second key is in the hands of one of the Joeys. The Joey that has the key is Mischief. So this is one of the Naughty Ones. It looks like they haven't come into contact with their siblings yet, so the world was still safe for now. So in this puzzle, there would be 3 platforms. Mischief would jump between the 3 of them. Each of these platforms is loaded with a spring-loaded boxing glove. The player needs to time it correctly and punch Mischief when they land on the platform. So the player uses their drone to hit the buttons and time it all correctly. Sometimes Mischief would fake out the player and not jump to the other platform. The player would have to learn their jumping pattern and strike at the correct time. Eventually the player presses the button and the boxing glove strikes Mischief. The key gets knocked out of their hand and falls towards the player. 2 keys down, 1 more to go. The player finally locates the last key. Devious has hidden the key in a number of different coloured boxes. The player has to search through all the boxes in order to find the key, but they only have a limited amount of time. As they open their first box, the ceiling starts slowly falling towards them. The player would only have about 30 seconds before they are crushed, so they need to be as quick as they can. After frantically searching through all the boxes, they finally locate the final key. The ceiling stops falling and they are free to leave this room. Now, with all 3 of the keys, they can finally grab that scepter. Once they've unlocked it, they now come to the final puzzle segment of the video. The player now finds themselves in a large maze. Also in this maze is Nasty, Mischief, and Devious. They are all in separate locations and are moving towards a central spot. The player has to stop them from converging on this spot because if they all come into contact, it would be the end of the world. So they need to use the Scepter's power to fend them off from this area. They can fend off one naughty one at a time, but they need to be careful that the others don't make it to the spot behind their back. So the player is always constantly moving in order to fend them off. The player can also stun one of the Joeys to make it easier for themselves. Whilst all this is happening, Sheriff Toadster has found a way to close the door on the convergence spot. Slowly the door would lower whilst the player fends off the Joeys from entering. Once the door has finally closed, the chase would be on. So the player needs to chase down each of the Joeys and absorb them into the Scepter. When they are chasing one, they would need to be careful of the other two. If they aren't careful, they can get jump scared by the other. They would need to chase one down at a time and stay close to them. The closer they are, the more their essence bar would go down. Eventually they would totally absorb them into the Scepter's red jewel. After chasing them all down, they finally absorb the last naughty one. Finally, they are all contained inside the Scepter. Now all they need to do is return the Scepter to Queen Bouncelia, but with Bittergiggle still in the Queen's domain, who knows what has happened. Hopefully the Queen is okay and the player can return the naughty ones to her pouch. But as to what will happen when the player and Sheriff Toadster return is unsure. But hopefully they set everything right and save the world from Banban's kindergarten. But until then, we'll just have to wait and see in the future chapters. So I think this idea for the naughty ones will be pretty cool to see. As of yet we don't really know what they look like, we only see the eyes that are in Queen Bouncelia's pouch. But I could imagine them being these 3 Doomsday Joeys with separate personalities, all of them being different types of naughty. But what they look like is a mystery as of now, but we can only hope they look something like these characters or something similar. But regardless of what they look like, it'll be interesting to see what they look like when the new chapters are released. But until then, we'll just have to wait and see. Alrighty everyone, well that's what we have for today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please consider leaving a like, comment, and subscribing. It helps a lot and it's greatly appreciated. As always, let me know what you think of our version of the naughty ones and what you'd like to see going forward. Also, do be sure to let us know what your theories are for Garten of Banban going forward as well. What do you think the role that the naughty ones are going to play in? Also, what do you think Bittergiggle's plan is going to be as well going forward? All that stuff is always awesome to read in the comment section, and we read all our comments as well. And lastly, I will just add, if you want to become a GamerTube member, then do be sure to click the join button on this channel and on our videos as well. It's a great way to help support the channel, and you also get a whole bunch of awesome stuff as well. Alrighty everyone, well thanks for watching another character concept video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.